recently I bought a VR headset, and all I can say is, it's amazing. Here's why. Okay, so first off, I wanted to talk about the price. Now, it isn't exactly amazing, but it's getting there. My Quest 2 cost me a total of $300 US or $480 for all my Australian viewers out there. But anyway, the reason that price is almost amazing is because, one, you get a decent headset that's capable of 90 Hz, and it's got a pretty sharp display. And two, you get a full standalone VR gaming experience within the headset. That's right, no expensive gaming PC and no tripping over and breaking cables. Plus, there's also the Oculus store, and it basically provides all the games you could want except for Phasmophobia.
It's gonna suck.
Oh, it's hunting.
And a bunch of other games, but at least they're super hot. And all those Star Wars ones, right? And that brings us to the games. Now, personally, I do mainly use this headset with my gaming PC wirelessly, which, by the way, is another one of the insanely cool features of the Quest and Quest 2. But if you want, you can also just use a USB 3.0 cable to play the PC games through the headset. But regardless of either method, this allows you to play pretty much any Steam VR game you want, including Half-Life Alyx, Phasmophobia, and War Thunder? War Thunder's VR. And by using Steam VR, you can also buy games off of key sites. And that's where today's sponsor comes in. Just kidding, I don't have a sponsor. But basically, you can get some games for cheaper than buying them off Steam, which, after spending my remaining savings on the headset, comes in quite handy. Humble Bundle, by the way, specifically, has some good VR bundles. It's where most of my games I got from them. Yeah. But going back to if you plan on using the Quest or Quest 2 without a PC, the game selection isn't too limited on the Oculus store, but they generally cost more. But there are also some freebies out there. But to be honest, you get a way more streamlined experience by staying within the Oculus ecosystem. Oh, and Echo VR is pretty great, and it's also free. Speaking of free stuff though, there's a ton of different demos you can try out for stuff like Beat Saber, Superhot, and Creed Rise to Glory. A great thing about it being standalone is you can also take the headset with you if you're traveling. Just don't take it outside though, because you could damage the displays through the power of the sun. Anyway, setting up the Quest 2 specifically for VR was a complete breeze. Without the need for base stations, there's really not all that much to set up, other than setting up a Guardian and signing into the Facebook account. Now, I get why people are annoyed about the whole Facebook account being required, but realistically, I think it's worth the trade of getting one of the best VR experiences out there for such a cheap price. And personally, I don't really mind. You might think that they'd ask you a ton of questions about where you live, what you eat, what your neighbor does for a living, and what your house is made of, but no. All you have to do is just link your Oculus account to your Facebook account, and you're good to go. Since this video is about the VR experience though, let's actually talk about that more. What is it like? Well, really what I can say is it's pretty damn cool being able to interact with things in the game world and be truly immersed in the game, where otherwise you probably wouldn't be very immersed at all. Especially in the horror genre of VR. When there's a creepy thing crawling towards you in a video game, you don't really feel it coming towards you, but then when you're in VR, it's like, what the hell? There's that creepy thing on the ground just crawling towards me like it's nobody's business.
I can pivot.
Oh, what the fuck is that? So yeah, horror VR is, it's definitely a lot more horrifying than, regular flat screen horror. Now, I also wanted to talk about the fitness area of VR, because I think a lot of people are probably buying this with an excuse of saying it'll keep me fit and healthy. On the surface, VR doesn't really seem like it would be able to keep you fit and healthy. And to that I say, if you're already sitting down at a desk, eating bags upon bags of Cheetos and watching YouTube because games are boring now, on hours on end, VR is probably a lot healthier. Think about it, if you're standing and waggling your arms all over the place, that's technically exercise. But also, in terms of eye strain, if you were wondering about that, I would probably take the headset off, just occasionally, when your eyes feel like they're gonna explode. And as for motion sickness, in my opinion, it's basically non-existent for the Quest 2. but that depends on the game you play. Occasionally you might have moments where you're like, ew, that made me feel a little bit nauseous, but they're really too rare to count. Okay, so now let's talk about the VR community. Personally, I don't play VR chat and probably never will, so I can't say what the community is like on there. But in Echo VR specifically, everyone seems pretty nice, and there hasn't really been any toxicity that I've really noticed on there much at all. And if you're also having technical issues with the headset, there's probably like forums full of people willing to help you out. So, you know, it's pretty good. Anyway, to finish this off, if you're considering buying a new peripheral, say like a high refresh rate monitor, a new TV, or an expensive ass keyboard, I would probably recommend taking into consideration something like the Quest 2 as an option instead, because a VR headset is gonna make a way bigger difference to your gaming than a 240Hz monitor, or a high-res TV, or an XLR microphone. But of course, if you have limitless cash as well, and also a baller gaming PC, you should probably get something like the HP Reverb G2, or maybe like the Valve Index. That is if you can find one in stock though, because yeah. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to chuck me a sub and hit that bell so you know whenever I upload. And if you also want to chuck me a like, if you enjoyed the video as well, that'd be great. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.